Hi, jewells68 here for Talk to Me Tuesday for Tuesday, January 13th, 2015. So, I think this is my first video of 2015. And as such, we can talk about goals, things we finished in 2014, goals for 2015. One goal I set for myself in 2014 was to finish and turn in a minimum of 12 blankets to Project Linus, and I turned in my 12th donation blanket in December, so I managed to achieve that goal. Did I have any other ones? I'm sure I did, and I was keeping, in fact I can see a to-do list, the last one that I posted on the wall. It says summer to-do list. That's the last one I did. I wonder if I finished any of it. Oh, the Project Linus charm quilt, yes. Never crossed that off, but I finished that. Teach Phoebe to sew a pillowcase. That hasn't happened yet. Hopefully that'll happen sometime before she moves away. Quilt for my great niece. That got done. That was it. Those were the 3 things for summer, and that's the last to-do list I made. So, hey, 2 out of 3. That's not too bad. So let's talk about 2015. 2015 I'm approaching a little bit differently. A little bit more like Jennifer's Finish It in 14. In fact, I'll probably even call it Finish It in 15. But there are a specific group of UFOs that have been languishing in my project room for a number of years. One of which being my Project of Doom quilt that I started during the original quilt-along in 2011. I got 22 blocks finished, and then people started having babies, and I stopped to work on projects and just never got back to that Project of Doom. So that is on my list to be finished for this year because there's another quilt-along, and so my plan is to finish it during the quilt-along. Originally, I had planned to just work on putting the book titles on during the first 22 weeks. But I'm thinking, as time allows, I will probably work on the blocks that I have yet to do, the last 8 blocks, sometime during that time frame, because I'm probably just going to embroider one title per block. Depends. I may change my mind, and I may do a combination of stenciling and embroidery. Like I may embroider one and then stencil a couple of other ones. I haven't decided yet. Robin Bird has talked about making stencils with her paper cutter. I don't know what kind she has. I think it might be a Cameo. I don't know. That seems to be a pretty popular kind. I have a Cricut Mini, and I've tried doing stencils for freezer paper on it, and I've had no success getting the settings to work properly for me that I found other people suggesting. So I'm going to try contact paper, which seems to work for other people in other machines, and I'm going to see if it'll work for me in my Cricut. And so we'll see. My original plan for this year, as I entered it, was not to start any new projects, no ongoing, like long-term swap commitments. And so I backed out of, I didn't back out, I just didn't sign up. I didn't sign up for the 2015 round of birthday blocks. And because that's an ongoing swap, and a lot of the blocks are due like in the first half of the year, and then nothing. So because I tend to be really busy that time of year, it's always been a little bit of a stressful time for me, and you know, hobbies shouldn't be stressful, so I I just opted out. And it's not that the group makes it stressful. I make it stressful on myself because I don't like to be late. I don't like to be behind, and then I get ticked off at myself because I don't get it done when I plan to get it done. It's a personal problem. It doesn't have anything to do with anybody else, but the stress. But I opted out, so I'm not doing that this year. I've done the last 3 years, and I have 3 baggies full of blocks that I've done nothing with. So that's why I decided no more. I'm taking a year, at least a year off. We'll see what happens next year. However, I did change my mind about that because one thing that's always been for many years has been connection point for my daughter and myself is Harry Potter. You know, going to the midnight release for Deathly Hallows, going to sneak peeks of the movies, thanks to work, some of the movies, and you know, going to see the movies right when they open. We went to a midnight release with Oph and Jen and her family for Order of the Phoenix. No, Half-Blood Prince, sorry. It was Half-Blood Prince. And, you know, we've just had a lot of those kind of bonding experiences over the whole Harry Potter series. And costuming for the midnight release of Deathly Hallows, things like that. It's been a fun thing for us. And so I asked her, I reminded her about the Project of Doom quilt that I started for myself back in 2011 and asked her if she would like one. That Jennifer was updating the patterns a little bit, and I would like to try out the new patterns, but I really want to make myself finish the original quilt with the original designs, just to kind of keep the look looking the same. So I asked her if she would like her own Project of Doom quilt, and she said yes. So so I did start that. So I did start this week. I did try out that. I went and got her background fabric, which is, I think it's called Gravel, and I got it at Joann's, and it's a gray kind of concrete-y looking thing. And here is her block. It's been years since I've shown my own blocks, so I will insert a picture of my first block from the original quilt along here. As you can see, I only ever embroidered one book title on there, and I think that's the only one I ever did. So, so yeah, that's where we are with that. So that's kind of fun, revisiting that. Finishing my own quilt is a project for this year. Finishing this quilt for her so that she has one for when she goes away to college. She can take it with her, and just something to kind of make her think of Mom, I guess. Would be nice. So, haven't posted in a couple of weeks. That doesn't mean that there was no craftiness going on. There wasn't a whole lot. There was a whole lot of knitting going on. I had decided I wanted to make something small to give to my coworkers in my department. Our entire department consists of 9 people, including myself. So 8 people, and then so I thought, well, I'll make something useful that hopefully they'll like. So I decided I wanted to make a coffee cozy that they could use, you know, on their own cup, or if they wanted to use it on like a, you know, Starbucks cup or something like that, paper cup, to keep their hands from burning and avoid having to use the little cardboard sleeves. I decided I wanted to make it out of cotton because I have a ton of cotton, and also because machine washable and dryable, and that way it could also help with if they wanted to use it on a cold drink later in the year. It would absorb sweat off the outside of the drink. So that was the idea there, and I started trying to do patterns that I found on Ravelry, and I didn't find one I liked. So then I started like experimenting between knitting and crochet and coming up, you know, modifying them a little bit to maybe make them taller or shorter or skinnier, because a lot of them seemed like they were way too big. I don't know where they're buying their coffee, but a lot of them just, either that or I just knit really loosely, which is possible because since this was something that wasn't really planned, I was relaxed when I was doing it, so it's possible that I was just, you know, knitting at a looser gauge. I'm not really sure, but anyway, I'll insert a picture first of the ones that I kind of was playing around with. There's one crocheted version and there's several tweaks to knitting version. I'll insert that here. So then I started playing around with it and trying to come up with my own pattern and writing it down as I went and keeping track. And I came up with a little something that I like to call a Java jacket, just because I like alliteration, because I'm just kind of cool that way. Jewells Java jacket. See, I didn't even realize that. That's what I should call it, Jewells Java jacket. That gives you the true alliteration because you got 3. The power of 3. Anyway, I'm just being silly because I haven't made a video in forever, but I made, I don't know, I think I have, the first couple were a little, like I wasn't really keeping track of rows. Like the first one, I wrote down everything I did. And I liked it. So then I made another one, but I didn't really like count rows when I was making the second one, and so it came out like a little taller, I think. I think I must have added some extra just knitting rows in there. And I did knit it. I kind of got on a knitting kick over the holidays. I hadn't knit in forever until I started working on that sweater, and then I just started knitting everything. So, so I ended up making a bunch, and I still have them here at the house because I wanted to make some kind of cute little tag to put on them, but I think I'm just going to take them to work and hand them out at the sales meeting tomorrow. And I'll put a picture of those, and I thought it was all of them, and then I found a wayward one that had fallen down into the drawer that they were sitting in, so this is a picture of all except one. So there's one more that's sort of an olive green. And I just basically took one of every skein of the cotton yarn that I had that was just normal worsted weight cotton yarn, and made one of each color. So I'm just going to take those to work tomorrow and let everybody just choose what color they want, I guess. I do intend to publish the pattern, but I need to write a blog post and make, you know, kind of arrange pictures and stuff. I want to redo the pattern a little bit and make it a little more attractive before I save the PDF on Google Docs. So I will hopefully have that done by next week. I just really haven't taken the time to do it. I kind of got burnt out on the whole Java jacket jive. So yeah, anyway, this is a year for finishing for me. I'm going to finish my Project of Doom. I started a quilt for my niece's wedding in 2010, so that's even older than the Project of Doom. And I'll insert, I think I have a picture of that, so I'll insert a picture of the top, because I finished the top in the days or week leading up to the wedding, and then knew there was no way in hell I was going to get it done, because I'd never actually quilted anything before at that point, I don't think. And it would have been my first one, and was freaking out because we were flying up to the wedding. I was going up with my mom and my sister, and I ended up just slipping some cash in her card. Thankfully, I didn't tell her I was making her a quilt, and since then she's gotten a baby quilt for each of her 2 children, so I think it's time I kind of spread the love a little bit. And my nephew got married actually this past year, kind of a surprise. He eloped, and thankfully he also likes to drink wine because it was a wine themed quilt. And so I'm thinking I might just tweak the quilt top, make it a little bit bigger, just to make it a little more personalized for him, and then that's on the agenda to be finished this year. Those are the only 2 like quilts in progress, with the exception of the Doctor Who stitch along, but I didn't really count that because I'm still in the process of making the blocks and I just barely got started, so I didn't really count that too much as UFO. So yeah, those are the 2 big things I plan to finish this year. I also would like to move along the last 3 years worth of birthday blocks. I'd like to make a decision on what I want to do with them, at the very least, if not get a top piece out of it. So those are also on the to-do list for this year. And what the hell, I'll just insert a picture of my to-do list for this year. And that's it. That is long freaking enough for the first video of the year. I hope everybody has a great week. I look forward to seeing more videos. Post videos! And I will see you next week. Bye!